I wish I could just pack up and take off and travel like I could when I was 21. Then it hit me like a freight train. What exactly is stopping you, Jade? I was already going on a trip to Vietnam and Cambodia in the near future, so I decided to take an additional leave from my job and extend the holiday to 6 months. Still to this day, I have no idea why I looked at a map of Asia and decided that Nepal was not that far from Cambodia, as only an Australian could. I decided to include a side trip to the Himalayan nation and trek to Everest Base Camp. A goal and a backpack. I arrived with a goal, a backpack, and not much else. It was a lofty goal. I had not trained for the expedition. I had not booked a tour. I had one night's accommodation arranged with an airport transfer included for the bargain price of $13 Australian. And I was ill-prepared for the chaos that is Kathmandu Airport. I managed to track down my driver, Ramesh, outside the airport. An interesting idiosyncrasy of Kathmandu Airport is that unless you're travelling, you're not allowed inside. He was proudly holding a piece of corrugated cardboard displaying my name from across the road, and he grinned from ear to ear when he realised that he had found his client. As is to be expected when travelling in a developing country, Ramesh had a friend who owned a restaurant, one who owned a trekking store, and, most importantly, a friend who was the best travel agent in Tamil, the tourist area of Kathmandu. An amazing feat, as there are over 1,000 other travel agents among the hectic bustle who were also claiming to be the best travel agent in Tamil. Unsurprisingly, Ramesh lost no time in introducing his newest client to all of them, in the hope of getting a kickback if I made a booking. Before I knew it, I was flying to Lukla, the most dangerous airport in the world, with a seemingly ill-equipped yet very good-looking Sherpa, and an assurance that after the air crash investigations, the baggage handlers no longer overloaded the small planes. After surviving the landing, we stopped for some breakfast. We met up with a couple from Texas whom my Sherpa had encountered on a previous trek. They would follow us for the journey. My Sherpa repacked his backpack into mine, so he would only have to carry one bag, he said, although it seemed overly familiar to me. And I was introduced to the slow pace of trekking life. Breakfast alone took 2 hours. Although I had spent 6 weeks lolling on beaches and in buses, once we finally set off, I was keen to show my fitness. I took off from Lukla at a pace my guide was surprised by, given my short stature. We arrived in Pakding, where we were to spend our first night, very ahead of schedule, and we had some time to fill. It was becoming abundantly clear that this Sherpa, whose name continued to escape me, was interested in more than just taking me on a trek through the Himalayas. And after convincing me to partake in some rice wine after our delicious evening meal, we began a holiday romance that would impress any Mills and Boon novelist.